So, I just got done watching Agent Carter, and I was a little back and forth on whether or not I wanted to review this week's episode. But then, the Avengers Age of Ultron second trailer happened yesterday. Which is surprising. You would think that they would have saved it for maybe during this show, like they did with Ant-Man, to try to help with the ratings, but hey, what can you do? So after I reviewed tonight's episode, I thought it would be cool if I also gave just a quick thoughts and opinions on this brand new trailer, since it was unexpected, at least for me. Now, with tonight's episode entitled Time and Tide, I have to mention how hilarious I thought it was, how at the very beginning they did the whole intro of, "My name is Peggy Carter." And I found this hilarious because I also watch shows like Arrow and The Flash, and both of those shows are notoriously known for the beginning having the actor, the main character, stating their name. "My name is Oliver Queen. My name is Barry Allen." And there's tons of memes of how annoyed people are of constantly hearing what their name is at the beginning of every episode, because we know what their name is. Jumping into this episode, I want to talk about the character Angie Martinelli, who is played by the actress Lindsay Fonseca, who, I like her. I do. I like that. I mean, she was in the first episode as the waitress that Peggy Carter met, but I like that she's now her neighbor, and she, throughout the episode, was trying to befriend her and hang out and just someone to talk to about her day. I think Peggy needs somebody like that in her life. She's too alone right now. I also I understand why she didn't want to do it at first, why she was being weary about it, because look what happened to her last roommate. Got her killed. Ouch. So I understand why she was trying to protect her, but this girl seemed like a nice girl, and I like that by the end of the episode, Peggy came around and she's going to take a chance. So I hope nothing bad happens to this girl. Now with Jarvis, because a lot of this episode had to do with Jarvis and everything that happened with him. First, I want to say that we hear about his wife. His wife is mentioned. He sort of tries to hide what he does for Stark from his wife. And we even hear her voice from the other room. I think it's time that we meet his wife, or at least see her. I mean, I'm going to let it slide now that it's only the first couple episodes, but they can't keep that up for the whole season. We have to see his wife and just maybe get to know her, or just get a sense of who his wife is. You see Jarvis getting arrested basically because of Stark and his weapons being stolen, and mostly for the car that was Stark's, and it was at the crime scene. So I liked a lot that Peggy put herself on the line, because even though later on she questions Jarvis, wanting to know for sure if she can trust him, even though she had that question, I like the fact that she knew she had to do something while he was being interrogated. She knew that she couldn't leave him hanging, and she was willing to put herself out there like that because she got into a lot of trouble. She did. Her boss yelled at her and made her feel like crap in front of everyone. I think for as much as what Jarvis is doing for Peggy, I like that she reciprocated and she was willing to take that abuse. Also, the character Daniel Sosa. He's the guy who his leg is crippled and he's on that walker. You could tell in the last episode that this was going on, the way how he stuck up for her in front of those guys that were picking on Peggy, but here somebody called him out on it and asked him straight up, "Do you have a thing for Peggy?" And he didn't deny it. And so that's going to be interesting. I want to see where that goes. I like that it's not like in our face, but I am interested in it. I know that Peggy does eventually get married and has kids with somebody. I don't know if it's going to be this guy. I only know this from the Winter Soldier movie. They mentioned it briefly, so maybe if I like rewatched it, they'll say the guy's name or something. I'm not sure, but I thought it was a little messed up that the other agent who was talking to him basically said, give it up on liking her because she was in love with Captain America. There's no way that she would settle for a crippled. And just, like, ouch. That was the most messed up thing you ever could have said to that guy. The badass moment of the episode definitely goes to Peggy Carter beating up or having that nice fight with that big guy in that bunker. And it's very cool that, I don't know if it's going to be every single episode, but to see Peggy Carter kicking ass, handling herself, and taking on these big guys. I'm not saying she would have won the fight by herself if it wasn't for Jarvis coming in and her using the weapon on the guy. But still, I loved seeing her take care of herself. The funniest moment of the episode, I originally had written down when Jarvis gave the anonymous tip because he had to disguise his voice and he put on this like New York accent that just kind of made me laugh. And then him sort of complimenting himself after he hung up the phone. That made me laugh. But then that changed to the end of the episode when after one of the agents got killed. And it was a sad moment. It was. Everyone sort of reacting to it. And then you had their boss come in and say, you know, he doesn't want to lose any more agents and he wants to make sure that this gets done. And he said he has to now go and call his wife. And then one of the other agents said, I'll call his girlfriend. That just... I know that they set up that he was cheating on his wife, but that really made me laugh. Now, the big question coming out of this episode is, who was the hitman? Who was the guy who killed that agent and the witness, the only witness that they had? It makes you wonder. I don't think it was Jarvis, but I think that the question could be there. I think the cops think that it is whoever gave the anonymous tip. Now on to what I really want to talk about. The Avengers Age of Ultron trailer. This trailer kicked major ass. The first trailer was awesome as well. Don't get me wrong. But this, I wasn't sure that this new trailer was going to be as different as it was or going to show different stuff like it did. That's why I didn't do like a straight up reaction video. I wasn't prepared for the trailer that we got. Some stuff I want to mention, like for example, they quickly showed the Ultron scene where he first comes in and all the Avengers are looking at him. They even say him by name, which sort of tells me that somebody names him Ultron before he haywires and goes evil. And then, as he's talking, robots come bursting through the walls, ready to attack. That I thought was pretty crazy. And you get quick cuts of what looks to be Hydra snatching people up and doing experiments on them. Now, we kind of knew that this was the case. Look what they did to Bucky, the Winter Soldier. And the after credit scene of that movie with what they created with Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. So we know this, but this is going to be going on. We're going to see more of that. And it amazes me that Marvel or these movies have had Hydra be so involved, so much of a threat still with all of these movies, and it's still interesting. It's not getting old. Awesome. And there's a quick moment with the Hulk and Black Widow. Like, they're looking at each other, and I don't know if Black Widow is trying to calm him down or if it's just them having some sort of connection. Like, when he puts his hand up and, like, they're both sort of touching hands. Like, I don't want to jump the gun and say that there's going to be an attraction, like, maybe Hulk likes Black Widow because, obviously, Bruce Banner, at least, is in love with Betty Ross. So, who knows? Maybe the Hulk, in his different split personality, likes Black Widow. Who knows? Maybe she'll be the only one who can calm him down. Or maybe it's that scene is the Hulk having to leave Earth. That's been a big rumor as far as this movie goes. And, of course, the Hulkbuster versus the Hulk. We got even more of that fight in this trailer, and it looks badass. It looks awesome. So much destruction and mayhem. And yeah, it's for sure Tony Stark in the Hulkbuster suit. And it looks like Hulk is just out of control. Who knows what's going on, if he's being controlled, manipulated. Scarlet Witch controlling his mind. That's what I'm assuming. But that seems to be the event, the thing to want to watch in this movie. I'm sure there'll be plenty of awesome action. I'm sure there'll be plenty of stuff that we don't even know or they're not showing us that will be epic. But that, from what they're showing us, that looks to be the coolest thing. I cannot wait for this movie if it wasn't already like that before. So guys, let me know in the comments below, not only what did you think of the second week of Agent Carter, but what did you think of this new Avengers trailer? One word, epic. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!